Hi, I'm Chelsea with the blog and web show Checking In with Chelsea. Windows, they can be a huge source of heat loss during the winter. So that's why I created this Roman shade that you can raise up during the day to let the sun come in and warm your house, and then you can lower it at night to help retain that heat. And here's how I did it. First, lay out the fabric that will become your Roman shade. Measure and mark the width and length, adding 2 inches to your window measurements for each. Next, cut along what you just marked. That extra 2 inches will be used to create the hem on all 4 sides. If you don't own a sewing machine, use 3/4 inch no-sew hem tape to create your hems with the clothes iron. First, fold a 1/2 inch of fabric along one side and iron to create a crease. Then fold another 1/2 inch and iron that. Then cut a piece of hem tape to that length and insert under your last crease. Use the hot iron to activate the hem tape. Repeat for the remaining 3 sides. Of course, if you have a sewing machine, you'll still want to fold and iron a crease before stitching the hem. Once your curtain panel is hemmed on all 4 sides, lay it out on your work surface. Then fully extend your cheap vinyl blinds and lay them out on top. You'll want to cut the ladder type strings that hold the blinds in place, but not the thicker cord that runs in the middle of the vinyl slats. Since my blind was 31 inches wide, it only had 2 cords. If your blinds are wider, you may have 3 cords. Don't cut any of them. Next, cut the strings at the bottom to completely remove the bottom rail and set it aside. Now you should be able to slide all of the vinyl slats right off. You can throw these away or save them for your next project. Measure and cut about 8 inches from the bottom of each cord. Set those 8-inch pieces aside to use a little later. Use fabric glue to attach the top rail of the blinds to the curtain panel. Make sure you have the front of the rail facing the back of the curtain and avoid gluing the cords. I use chip clips and hardback books to keep the curtain intact. While the glue is drying, measure and mark along the length of the cord. Mark at 8 inches from the bottom, then at 18 inches, 28 inches, and 38 inches. Do this along each of your cords. Then measure the distance from the cord at the top rail to the edge of your curtain. Mine was 5.5 inches. Mark that distance at each of your 8, 18, 28, and 38 inch marks to create an X at each spot. Now, using clear thread or a color that coordinates with your fabric, sew a plastic ring on the back of your curtain at the top 6 X's. Don't sew rings on the bottom X of each cord. To attach the bottom rail, pop out the plastic plugs on it and feed an 8-inch piece of cord that we cut earlier through the hole. Tie a few knots to secure a plastic ring. Cut the excess string and pop the plug back on. Using the fabric glue again, attach the flatter side of the bottom rail to the curtain at the bottom 8-inch marks. Make sure your plastic rings are facing towards the top of the curtain. Let the bottom and top rails dry overnight. Then feed the cords through the plastic rings and tie securely to the rings on the bottom rail. To hang the shade, use the brackets that came with the blinds and a pencil to mark the holes at your window. Use your BLACK+DECKER drill and a 1/16 inch drill bit to pre-drill the holes you just marked. Set the bracket back in place and attach the screws. Slide your new Roman shade into the brackets. Use the lift cord to raise and lower the shade like you would blinds, and enjoy the view!